Attention! Please be advised. The following episode contains spoilers. Don't say we didn't warn you.
I'm not a fan,
Just
but
a
holy shit.
fanatic.
I will preach his gospel.
What is, everyone? Welcome to Nerd on the Podcast you didn't need but you deserve, where all levels of nerd are welcome.
Yeah.
Here.
I have one thing to say.
Uh-huh.
Bad boys, bad boys.
What you gonna do?
What you gonna do when they come for you? Look, Marcus and Mike Lowry are back at it again in Miami. All right? Today, we do it again. One last time. With Bad Boys for Life!
Oh,
Bad boys, bad boys.
What you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you?
I said
You gotta learn the words, Ollie.
This is a bunch of white people and one Asian guy.
Love it.
Yeah.
All right.
I'm that one prissy
Asian
boy.
guy.
You're the guy.
You're the one.
There's always
Oh,
one.
oh,
right up until there isn't.
Save it.
God.
That was one of my favorite lines right off the bat,
Yeah.
right, by the way. All right.
So yeah, we're talking about Bad Boys.
Yes, we are.
Let's introduce the host. I'm Tom.
Ali.
I'm Caitlin.
I'm Corey.
And I am Josh, and this episode is brought to you in part by the Nerd On Nation that is powered by Patreon. As a member of the Nerd On Nation, you do get fun perks. Like, you get a Discord server, which is popping all the time, and we are hearing it is people's favorite thing. You get Corey's leg. Just kidding. You get discounts
Dope merch.
on merch. He's wearing, for those listening, he's wearing Nerd On swag.
Lots of it,
Good
actually.
And
stuff.
Tom's not.
Kidded
And
Tom is
Tom is also,
Tom is.
but he's a bag, so it's fine.
He's a bag?
Yeah, it's
He's a
like
takeout bag.
Like a...
He's a takeout bag.
Bags.
This is Nerd
got
On.
it, got it. But yeah, so all sorts of fun perks like exclusive bonus episodes and early
Exclusives.
access. Yeah, so check that out, nerdon.io/Patreon. And if you would like to further support Nerd On in being the best that we can be, you can check out our affiliates page on our website, nerdon.tv.
We got a bunch of them.
We
Check
have
them
a
out.
bunch of them, and you can shop and support at the same
Yeah.
time.
Crazy.
So yeah,
Let's get into
Where
it
can they
here.
find that?
nerdon.tv.
/affiliates.
There it is.
I don't
It's
know.
actually not that.
It's probably
I don't think it is, but if
/u.
don't know-
la, 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 la.
I'll
Right at the
make
top
it
there.
that.
Yeah.
I'll make it
Navigate.
that so it's easy. But at the top, you go to support, and then there's like partners and
Yeah.
stuff like that. So check it out.
Anyway,
So, shit, man. Took hella long to make this a third film, but
Yes, it
It's
did.
one whole film.
It is a complete
They will not be getting a bay cut.
no.
That's
No.
true.
So that means we're at
Release
the
the
end.
bake. Oh,
At the end of the episode, we are going to rate this.
Oh.
And so that brings us to our first segment where we're going to
Guess
that
grub.
Bad boys, bad boys.
Like
What you gonna do?
What you gonna do with your bad grub?
Baby, I compare you to a kiss from a rose on
I
the
regret
grave.
everything about this
Ooh, the
moment in
more I
time.
get of you, the
Know that I'm alone
stranger
in
it
feeling this
feels,
way
Mike
because-
Lowry.
Oh, wow. Thank you for saving that last bit.
Don't date my sister in the second movie. Sorry.
I'm gonna add to our survey that's going on right now, nerdon.io/research. What song should stop being heard in Nerdon?
that
Oh,
one.
it's probably Bad Boys.
No,
Bad
no.
Boys.
It's probably the I'm Josh and qualms make me uncomfortable.
It's
Yeah, that's the song.
or it's the if everyone just is like the opening, that'd be so sad.
Oh, no.
shout to Grant.
Your
What
theme.
jokes are outplayed? No.
So yes, if you're a first-time listener and first time to the show, welcome. And Guess That Grump is a segment right now that we are going to take turns and guess who's going to have the lowest rating out of a 0 out of 5. And whoever, no matter how high it is, whoever's the lowest is the grump for the week.
That's correct. If you'd like to participate, you can join the Nerd On Nation and vote on our Patreon exclusive polls and get a shout out on the episode as well.
Or you could slip and smash into my DMs.
My God.
But you won't be included
Tom.
on the episode.
But you can do that.
That's a
But you-
separate thing.
we
that
are
you
not
can
stopping
do
you.
of your own accord.
Although we would like to warn you.
Be careful.
no.
So, since I always remix it and never mess it up,
Yeah.
I am going to guess that the grump of the episode is going to be Josh.
Interesting.
I think it should be Ollie, but I don't.
You
wanna,
just wanna
I just don't want to
should it.
say it.
Yeah, why should it be
I
Ollie?
don't know. By science, it would mandate that you are normally.
Josh,
fair.
popcorn?
Empirical evidence.
Statistically. It has been popcorn to me. I think that it is going to be Ali.
Whoa.
Okay.
This one's a hard one.
So I went with the science.
That's what she
Um,
said.
I'm gonna go with Caitlin.
What? Okay.
Caitlin, who you got?
I think it's
Remember, it's
gonna,
lowest regardless of how high it is.
Right.
Yeah.
I think it's gonna be Ali.
Yeah, with Caitlin, everything's typically a 4 or higher.
Yeah.
And I think that it is going to be Ali.
Smart guess.
Okay then.
Also, the
Interesting.
Nerd on Nation has voted for
A tie.
Caitlin.
Oh, what? Oh,
Ooh.
me?
Okay.
So it'll be me and Tom first.
Mhm.
No votes.
Wow.
Josh with 1 vote. Caitlin, you will be second to last with 2 votes, and Ali 3 votes.
Okay.
All right, for sure. So,
So
that's
that's the guess that grump.
guess
Spoil it.
that grump. And so we move on to the next segment, our second, which is the complete spoiler of that, which is our initial reactions and our first impressions.
Okay,
So
I'll start it off.
Go ahead.
First of all, I fucking love Bad Boys.
Yeah.
These are some of the most fun movies I've ever experienced. I watched the first one with my dad when I was very young. My dad was a huge Will Smith, not only Will Smith fan, but Martin Lawrence fan. Like we watched his TV show almost every day
To this
in our house. So that first movie was fantastic. The second movie, Tom and I were just talking about the other day, is such a like over the top masterpiece.
That's
Yes.
that's putting it lightly.
It is so much fun. It is not a movie you go to see to be like, I wonder how they're gonna really challenge me on a psychological level.
Intellectual.
It's just like, hey,
No.
do you like roller coasters? We made a
Right.
movie version of a roller coaster.
Mhm.
You in? So it's just a lot of play, and I love it. And I think, especially in this one, you can just tell everyone involved is having a lot of fun.
Definitely.
I mean, especially Martin Lawrence and Will Smith, but like even the older ones, the captain from The Matrix and
Joe
stuff like that.
Pantoliano.
Yeah. Oh,
Yep.
shout out, one of my favorites. So this was no different. Getting to see them play with that like aging kind of like bulletproof how they thought they were, but also meeting the
Mhm.
reality of age.
It's Lethal Weapon 4.
It is. It's Lethal Weapon
you see
4.
that.
And I mean that in the best way possible.
Mhm.
I
We are too old for this shit.
I had a smile on my face pretty much from start to finish.
yeah.
Mhm.
Yeah. I'll go.
good.
I'll go next. Yeah, pretty much the same situation. I actually got the opportunity to watch Bad Boys 1 and 2 with Caitlin here.
Bad boys.
Prepping for this because she had never seen it. Quite an experience. So it was great to be reminded of how much I love like this series to begin with. And then I had the same situation, like experiencing the movie, smiles, little giggles, seeing the Easter eggs, seeing references to the other ones.
Yeah.
I was like, this is so much fun. This is
Mhm.
I think you're correct. It's like everybody's having a good time.
Yeah.
And it was very clear on the screen, and
That energy comes across, like
Yeah.
truly.
yeah,
It really does.
And I
Mhm.
think that they both aged well for
Black
this.
don't fucking crack, bro.
and,
Oh,
but
Tom.
It's true
Yeah.
facts.
And
it was a good time.
Asian don't fucking raisin.
there it is.
Wow.
So
And white's not
I
going to be
feel
all right.
like I no. I feel
And
like
white
I need to go
ages every
next.
night.
Don't
That's
trust
what it is.
Whitey.
Oh,
No, whites age in sunlight.
Oh, that's what it is.
Uh,
Okay.
I feel like I need to go next just
Yeah,
because
do it.
Josh was kind of part of my experience because
That's been nice.
we had a little movie night. We watched Bad Boys 1 and 2 and I didn't know really what to expect.
Oh man.
And I didn't know the genre that this fell under.
Oh.
So I kept trying to explain it. I was like, it's kind of like a sitcom, but there's action. And he goes, a buddy cop movie? And I was like,
Oh yeah.
oh.
I'm
'Cause
glad I
I-
could learn you.
Because I don't think I'd ever really seen a buddy cop movie
Oh,
before.
you have so much
Oh
living
my
to do.
god.
I think I've only ever seen like
Oh,
maybe
yes.
Disney versions where it's a dog or something. I've never seen like two humans
Turner and Hooch.
do. No, I haven't
Oh,
seen
I
it.
love Turner.
that's a dog.
So
That's why.
then maybe great. I don't know.
Then what other?
This could be a dog.
Disney.
Could not be a dog. Haven't seen it either way.
So Bad Boys for Life.
Bad Boys for Life. It
After
was
having experienced the first two.
after having experienced the first two. Bad Boys for Life was like a little like yes, because there were things that I liked in the first one. There were things that I liked in the second one, and then getting to this one was kind of like the hallelujah moment where everything came together
Yeah.
and was
Mm.
great. And it also kind of reminded me of a Marvel movie a little bit,
Interesting.
just a little bit.
Interesting.
I'll get into that later.
Adele and Bilal. Check that out.
I have no idea what you just said. What?
Those are the directors. You'll be reading those soon.
Oh, yeah.
So go ahead,
Wow.
Ollie.
Now I feel like a real jerk.
Brought to you by Tom.
I am a huge fan of the first two movies, especially the second one. The second one has a very special place in my heart. Like I said, it's like I find it also to be like a masterpiece, and everything's just so purposeful, and it's like Michael Bay to a T.
I would say it's a high octane buddy cop.
High octane buddy cop
Dumb.
movie. No, but it's like an action movie that has like comedy though.
Yeah.
Oh,
buddy
you mean
cop.
like a buddy cop? Okay.
All right. Thanks for that, Ollie.
I saw what you did
Make
there.
Caitlin feel like a jerk. Brought to you by Ali.
Great. This Kayla's just going to feel like a jerk today. It's okay.
No, you won't.
I'm fine
No,
with
I'm
it.
But no, going into this, I actually like the leading up to it, the trailers didn't really sell me, they didn't really grab me. And the fact that Michael Bay wasn't going to be doing it was a little like
You're like, okay.
disheartened, I guess, for lack of a better term. So I didn't really have much expectations going into this. And man, like
So glad that you did.
from the moment it began to like the end, I was in it. It was so much fun, smile on my face the whole time.
Bad boys of the Bible.
Just like amazing dialogue. Like I don't know why I was worried, you know.
Their
and it's like
chemistry has not faded at all.
Nope.
It's
No, not even a little.
them two are just magical. Like it's I can't even.
Yeah, they
speak
work,
highly enough,
well.
but they work really well off each other, and you don't even without even skipping a beat. You know,
Yeah.
it's like they made the second one yesterday.
Yeah.
You know,
it's can confirm.
nobody's
Does
rusty.
feel like that.
You know, and things like that. And then
How many years was it between it exactly?
18?
18?
17.
17.
Which means that one
Wow.
was 2003.
yeah.
Mhm.
Wow.
And I really enjoyed. I really enjoyed what the directors brought to it. I enjoyed the new cast members. A couple of them in particular, which we'll talk about. But yeah, I just really had a really great time.
Let me guess, she's female.
I want to see it again. Hey, so what?
For me, Bad Boys had, I grew up watching like action films and stuff like that. So like Bad Boys was kind of like another one of.
Did you watch it on like TMC and?
No, I had them on VHS.
Okay.
And so like
I gotta ask because
yeah.
half your movivies are TMC, half of them are the
they're
VHS.
not TMC, USA.
This is true.
USA, that's what it is.
reruns, baby. But like watching this was part of like the Boy Scout. Talking about like those like Bruce Willis and like he's paired up with some comedy actor.
Hell yeah.
Back in the day films, and this kind of like became part of like the Will Smith like he's blowing up. It was like Enemy of the State, Men in Black, and then like later on he did all his other things. So like getting into this one, like I remember seeing the trailer for like I remember seeing the buzz and seeing like the little small foam portrait video of Martin Lawrence and Will Smith like, hey, it's happening.
Oh, yeah.
And
I
I was like,
remember
oh shit, talk about sequels that fucking took too long to get here, right? Like that's kind of a normal thing nowadays. Like
Yeah.
we're getting Rambos, we're getting the Rockies, we're getting these, we're getting
We're
like,
either getting reboots
Terminators,
or really
you know,
far sequels.
well, even like the newest Terminator was like a sequel of the second one and not of any of the rest of the
Yeah. Yeah.
franchise.
Same
right?
with Halloween was a sequel of the first one.
Yeah.
And, not
And
any
so
of the
again,
other
it's like these
Halloweens.
sequels of things that are like, dude, you're fucking like 10, 15 years. Like, what the fuck? Like, and
Dude,
so
the member berries are strong right now.
well,
Oh,
I think the
member?
cool thing is also like we're getting these actors who are like, to me, like you guys mentioned, where it's like it doesn't feel like their chemistry has like left a beat. To me, it's like these are like the true like trailblazers of like the genre we see today.
For sure.
Like, and so like they've like really worked through the grindstones of like, yeah, their chemistry is going to be great no matter what, because like they definitely worked really hard to do it, and like they didn't have a lot of like the shortcuts of like modern cinema has nowadays. And so for me, I'm like, yeah, like I'm down for it. Watching the film, very very surprised actually at like how coherent the story was.
Yeah.
Because that's not a Michael Bay thing. So like I was a
Yeah,
little
'cause it's not Michael Bay.
exactly, and so I was like, I was sad and happy at the same time. It's like it's like a fear boner, kind of like it's like because I'm sad that
I'm
Michael Bay.
sorry that
I know what he
can't-
means.
I
Yeah.
can't quite relate to this one, but go on.
It's like a sexy murder scene. That's fear boner.
It's like 50 Shades of Grey.
no,
It's a fear bone.
that just makes me fearful.
Fair.
But yeah, so watching it without Michael Bay like aesthetic and like signatures on it was kind of like very sad for me.
But
And watching it with these two directors coming in, I was kind of like, oh, so that's what this could be.
yeah.
And so I was like, oh, I'm really
you
really
can have
excited.
action and story.
Yeah.
And so yeah, there's differences. It's a 6 and a dozen, right?
6 and 1, half a dozen the other.
There you go.
Yeah.
So
Well,
like I went into, I was just like, I was pleasantly surprised, and also was pleased to see what can possibly happen.
Yeah.
Well,
for life.
I was really pleased that it had like you said, like it was like a simpler like plot for the most part, but then it gave it a lot of opportunity for character moments and a lot of opportunity for like unexpected twists and stuff.
Yeah.
And I think those definitely really helped.
So with that brings us that rounds that out, so we kind of get the people at home knowing where our ratings are going to be. So we'll move on to our brief synopsis and then our production.
Mhm.
So
Brief synopsis.
brief synopsis.
We didn't decide before. I can jump in and
Go
y'all
ahead,
can
do
help
it.
me with this.
Yeah.
So we actually open on a high octane,
chase.
what we think is a chase scene. We're
There's
back in
cops,
the
it's on
car.
Miami.
We're back in the car with Mike and Marcus. Of course, Mike's car is
Porsche.
absolutely fantastic. And he's
Porsche.
cutting turns like nobody's business, and
Mhm.
Marcus is rightfully freaking the fuck out.
Mhm.
They almost die a few times. They race up. We think they're chasing someone, and lo and behold, his Marcus's daughter is having a baby
Mhm.
with none other than
Reggie. Oh, so good.
Made me so
Such a
happy.
great
And
payoff.
The whole audience went nuts, by the way, for that
the
scene.
cool
Yeah.
thing is that when they started the reveal of him, it's the same framing of when they introduced Reggie in
Yeah.
the second one.
Yeah.
Uh,
When that happened, I was like,
Oh shit.
So Marcus is having an emotional moment. Mike doesn't know how to be emotional. So he leaves, whatever. He's crying
like,
about the
"Don't,
baby.
Just
It's a
don't.
baby.
Not no.
Well, the
Fast forward, they're celebrating that he's a grandpa, and they're talking about how Marcus wants to retire and that Mike is an idiot. He's like, no, we're going to do this for life. Bad boys for life. I'm unstoppable.
He's an idiot because he passed up on this wonderful woman.
Wonderful woman.
Who's
Who's clearly
lieutenant.
perfect for him.
Yeah.
So they decide to have this little like street race. They're kind of drunk, whatever, and they bet like, all right, if you win, we retire. If I win, we do this for life. And during the race,
Bang
we
bang.
get shot.
Yep.
As we find out earlier in the film, someone escaped from prison. Some unknown woman, violently, by the way, escapes
Very
from prison
violent.
and is picked up by her
dope-ass way.
son.
Mhm.
She gives him the task of killing off these specific people who were involved in
Her
In order.
his quote unquote his father's
murder.
death and her conviction. And so Mike is on that list. So he gets shot. She's not too happy. She wanted him dead last so he could see everyone else die. Mike makes it. I think it's a 6-month
6-month
basically recovery
recovery.
period. Where Marcus is by his side, wiping drool, coloring his beard with midnight cocoa bean.
So good.
And we come back to 6 months later. His Reggie is marrying the daughter, and Mike is there. We get a wonderful speech from
Michael Bay.
Michael Bay with
Passing the baton down.
with
Yeah.
his signature
Parallax.
parallax shot.
Uh-huh.
And then Mike gives a toast, wonderful toast, and they say, we ride together, we die together, bad boys for life. And they have this moment inside where he finds out from the captain that Marcus is retiring. And he was like,
He already has retired.
has retired, excuse me. Has
because
retired.
Mike died.
And Mike's
Mike
like,
what wasn't coming. Yeah.
yeah, he's like, listen, I need your help. I need this. And he's like, you don't. You're on a vengeance mission. You're going to get somebody killed. They have a disagreement. Mike says, I'm going to do it anyway. Goes, does his research, find out some stuff. And he gets added to the ammo team
Which is led by
as a consultant, which is led by the
ex-girlfriend.
yeah, they were ex-girlfriends. The very strong female character that Ollie probably picks
Rita.
as his favorite.
Yeah.
And they go in for a mission to pick up who is selling these hollow point bullets that Mike was shot with. Mike notices something in the camera feed as they're surveilling that the bag is empty, and he's like, "Oh shit, they're gonna get shot. We need him alive." Bad boys ensues, and the guy gets impaled and gets killed.
Marcus gets involved because a former informant calls him, say, "Hey, I need help because they're gonna come kill me."
Yep.
Then he brings in
one
Mike.
thing leads to another. They fight on the rooftop. They have this moment between them, and they eventually, one thing after another, leads them to meet in Mexico.
where it all started.
Where they're gonna meet. Mike has a breakdown moment before they leave to Marcus, where he admits he had been deep undercover before they were partners. He fell in love with this woman. They were gonna run away together, but he eventually had to turn her in because she was a stone cold killer, and they called her
Bruja.
the Bruja, which is
The
the witch. We have a wonderful airplane scene. They get to Mexico. They think they're alone, but Marcus once again has called ammo for backup. Huge Inferno fight happens. One of the coolest choreographed action sequences
It's like
I've seen
Army
in a
of
while.
Two.
Yeah. And one thing leads to another. The woman dies, but Mike kind of connects with what we find out is
Penetrates his
son.
soul.
It's
my
his
heart.
son. Not the cartel guy's son, but his. So the son decides to help him. He escapes. Mike says, I can't promise you it won't be it won't be okay, but I promise that I'll be there. And
It's
so
the
we
evil, fucked up version of him.
flash forward.
Flash forward.
Flash forward. I'm looking at the Flash.
The Flash.
Flash forward, and they're celebrating them being back safe. Ammo is back. Everyone's kind of hanging out, and everyone's getting along now.
It's a birthday.
It's a birthday. Yes.
Yeah, it's a birthday.
Is Mike? Who's
No.
Rita's
It's
promotion.
Rita's promotion.
Excuse
That's
me.
Promotion, right?
And
She's the new captain.
Mike decides to treat Marcus and his wife to a spa day because they ruined her spa day. Where Ammo has suggested that, hey, we should help you with the baby, but psych, we're gonna leave Mike alone with the baby. Last scene we see is him talking to his son in prison. Says, "Hey, how would you like to cut your sentence down?" And he's like, "I'm listening," and that's it.
End.
So Bad Boys 4 is coming.
Bad Boys.
Confirmed.
for life.
Watch it
for,
called
for.
be Bad Boys for real.
That was for real.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
I'll hate it so
No, you
much.
won't. No, you won't. You love this.
Bad
yeah,
Boys for
I would
death.
probably.
Bad Boys
So I'm
forever.
assuming,
Bad Boys forever.
yeah.
No.
I can't pay you
Dude,
to.
that wasn't
No,
the
no,
best
no, no,
lead up
no.
ever.
No, it wasn't.
So that was about 10 minutes.
Yeah,
You,
that was
production?
like 2 minutes.
Yeah, let's do
Ollie,
some production.
Take it away.
All right, so we got 2 directors, Adil El Arbi and the Bilal Falah. They are working partners who have both worked on Black, Gangsta, Image, Wiz Khalifa's When I Grew Up, Snowfall episodes, and Hashtag. Producers Jerry Bruckheimer and Will Smith and Doug Belgrad. Jerry Bruckheimer's done Pirates of the Caribbean, Remember the Titans, Armageddon. Will Smith has done Hitch, Alts, 7 Pounds, and Doug Belgrad has done Peter Rabbit, LA's Finest, Charlie's Angels. Writer is Peter Craig, who's done The Town, Hunger Games, Mockingjay, Bloodfather. Chris Bremner has first writing credit. Cast is Will Smith, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air, Pursuit of Happiness, iRobot. Martin Lawrence, who's done Blue String, shout out. Martin TV show Do the Right Thing. Vanessa Hudgens has done High School Musical, Powerless, Second Act. Alexander Ludwig, Hunger Games, Final Girls, Vikings. Joe Pantoliano
This
has
is-
done The Matrix, Baby's Day Out, Daredevil.
Baby's Day Out.
Great
Oh
poll.
my God.
Shout out to
Oh,
Bill
yeah.
Holmes.
Paula
Oh, yeah.
Nunez has done The Purge TV show, The Sun, Rihanna de Corazon. Charles Melton has done Riverdale. The Sun is also a star, and American Horror Story.
Nice.
Just a quick asterisk. Will Smith helped produce not Alt, but ATL.
Yeah.
ATL.
Yeah, you said
Correct.
Alt. Don't worry about it.
Was released January 17th, 2020, 124 minutes, $90 million budget, grossing 106 so far as of 11
Wow.
a.m. on Sunday, the 18th.
Oh my
Correct? Did I
god.
get that right?
The
Yeah.
19th.
The 19th. And Rotten Tomatoes score 76% critic, 76% good, right? Or
For
critics,
critics, yeah.
97% audience.
Wow.
Nice.
So
Not a big margin between the critics and the audience right now.
yeah, no, I mean I think the obviously the audience is going to be higher because the audience have been waiting for it. And again, I think I like what Kevin Smith has said about sequels. Is like once you make one sequel, you're doing the fan service game.
Yeah.
You're no longer trying to make like really original thing. You're really just kind of like listening to
Which is fine.
the community, and then
Yeah.
you're just making what they wanted to see. And then critics, like I said, there's no Michael Bay, so the story makes sense.
Huh. Imagine that.
So with that, that is all out of the way. We can move into the meat and potatoes.
Potatoes.
Of this potato. So favorite
Wrong
parts,
movie.
favorite characters, and our qualms.
Yo,
So favorite
Man.
parts.
favorite part is the entire airplane scene. I think that was the
Yes.
Oh.
best written comedic scene in the entire
It reminded me a lot of Rush Hour.
Rush Hour.
Yeah, and I think not like it copied or anything. Like everything stands on the shoulders and of Titans.
But
and
when he
Giants.
when Martin Lawrence says you fucked a married witch and then turns to the 12-year-old, he goes, "Oh, you probably shouldn't have heard that, but
Should be minding your
you
own
should be
business.
minding your own business anyway." And then the other line that killed me is when he's sitting next to him when he finally he goes, "Can I switch seats with you?" And the guy goes, "Oh, absolutely." And then he said, "You made a warlock baby with a bruja." Killed me. Killed me.
And then there was like kind of like a scene at the
The
end.
end.
Oh,
where
yeah,
the
he's like,
guy
"We-"
next
he goes,
sits
"We
next to him.
Yeah,
Would you ever sleep with a
without wearing a condom.
with a witch without wearing a condom? And the
Oh,
guy's like,
definitely
oh no,
not.
definitely,
Definitely
not.
You wrapped that
Just
shit.
Jerry
you
like,
hear
I
that,
hear that, Mike?
Definitely not.
Killed it.
Another one part of those is like in the comedy scenes is when it's during when Mike is having his breakdown and it's like sad, and he's like,
he's like me. He's like as strong as me and ferocious as me. He's like the fucked up version of me. Then Marcus immediately, you are the fucked up version.
You're the fucked up version of you.
And I'm like, hell yeah.
Or after his whole story, and he's like, "You fucked a witch."
He's like,
That's what you got from all that. I'm sorry, it's a lot to process
That's
right now.
that's a callback to the second one.
I
Yeah.
also love like Marcus's description of their fight where he's like, "You got a supernatural ass beating."
Yeah, it was great.
We've already mentioned it, but I have to call it back. I mean, the return of Reggie.
Oh, yeah.
like
so good.
The reveal was great.
like just because I know that scene like in number 2 basically kind of started that that happened again in some movies where they were kind of calling to that scene.
That's one of the most famous scenes in the Bad Boy franchise.
And it was so
I go
Mostly
so
Go back.
awkward.
I would say,
Are we gonna do an episode on this?
I would
on
say,
two?
I would
feel like
say,
we do.
One
we
day
should.
we will.
I would
Because
say
I have
this.
some trivia about that.
It's not even
Oh.
like one of the most famous scenes in the Bad Boys franchise. It's probably one of the most famous scenes in modern cinema
yeah.
yeah,
because it's like so popular. Like, and that's the thing where it's like again,
Is
genre,
it really?
It's really fucking.
it's really popular. If
I
you
was
look it up on
telling you.
It's
YouTube,
literally like
Huh.
I
huge.
see that I saw that got memified where it's like, what do you do when your daughter gets a date and they just show that clip? And
Yeah.
it's like that's it. That's what's up.
So the fun fact about that is that Reggie was told, the actor who played Reggie was told to not look Martin Lawrence in the eyes because he's very aggressive on set, and none of the lines that they improvised were scripted. So they said you just go along with whatever they say. Do not cut them off because they just basically built them up as these terrifying guys.
Oh my god!
And then Will Smith and Martin Lawrence fucked with him super hard.
Mhm.
But I believe they took him out for drinks and dinner after. But
Yeah.
but that whole scene is literally him being actually terrified of the two of them.
Oh
So,
my god!
I would be terrified too. They were
Yeah.
both actually, I think, at that point were in their young prime. Like
Oh yeah.
in this
Oh,
film, it's
yeah.
like I love to see it, but it's like, man, like y'all got some aged and y'all
Yeah.
got some thickness on you. I'm like, man.
Oh,
that-
the whole montage between Mike Lowry and Marcus, like him getting
Oh.
his suit on and the bathrobe. And
Oh
like,
yeah.
it's
Cranking
to
the
me.
chair
I
back.
think that is a reference to another action film franchise that you have not yet fucking watched.
Fast and
Corey,
Furious?
so you're a piece of shit.
Wow.
But
How is he?
That's
because I've been
Tom.
trying to
That's
swoon
Tom.
Corey to do this for years, and it's not happened. But I would say this: I think Fast and Furious wouldn't be
There
what
it
it is without the Bad Boys
Oh, definitely.
franchise.
oh,
yeah.
no way.
So, another favorite, I think, sequence of mine is I kind of really liked a lot of like seeing the chinks in the armor for Mike.
Oh yeah.
So seeing that he doesn't, he's not the best on the field anymore. He's not the strongest,
Not bulletproof Mike.
He's not bulletproof Mike. And then I think the it comes to a head is when he's trying to get into the club and he's trying to talk to the girls.
Oh,
and
yeah.
then, like
He just went through a divorce.
then
He's like, no.
Asian boy
no,
comes out, and I'm just like,
no."
and mind you, fucking this Asian guy does need to get a fucking get chopped out a fucking notch. I was like,
Badly.
God damn it! But he shows up, and I was like, there's his purpose.
But he
That
does.
was his
By
fucking
the end of the
purpose.
film, they're giving
He
each
was,
other.
Yeah.
They shook hands. They
that
were like,
that
"All
line of
right."
like, there's always one, right up until there
there's
isn't.
not.
What's
It's
that
like,
supposed to mean?
loved it.
I
The
love-
bait. Oh, go ahead.
I was gonna say Dorn, the tech guy.
Oh,
Yeah.
When he goes
he's so
ham.
good.
I love
I'm
when
gonna
Mike
need
was
it.
like, "I'm willing
To pay
to pay
for
for the therapy that you'll
He's
need,"
like,
and he's like, very
"Thank you.
seriously,
Thanks.
I'm gonna need it,
I'm gonna
and just
need it.
goes ham. And I was like,
Thank you. I'm
Yes.
I'm seriously going to need it.
Yeah.
Takes down a fucking
Pillar.
column.
Dude, his,
tackles
his-
that column.
The
Oh,
part where
man.
he says transitioning,
Yeah.
and then it's the one shot
Yeah.
of him taking out like 4 or 5
Oh
guys.
my
I was
God,
like, oh,
so
the
good.
choreography in that entire scene
yeah,
was absolutely phenomenal. One of the
So
camera
good.
tricks that like literally had me audibly go, "Holy shit!" was when Rita's below the guys
Yeah.
and the
Oh,
camera
when they
shifts
flip it
sideways.
sideways.
That was beautiful.
Mhm.
Yeah.
That gave me like goosebumps.
I
when
wanted to
saw
be
it. I was
longer though. Like I wanted to be like twice as long
That
of
was,
a shot. But
it was such a
it was
great idea.
beautiful.
I love the way
Yeah.
they use the camera in this film. I mean, obviously they paid some homage to Michael Bay, but they really
Mhm.
came with their own
Yeah,
game.
I think
Yeah.
that specific shot is actually from one of their older films.
Okay,
So-
yeah.
Oh, that's pretty cool.
Definitely.
The
had-
baby drop off in the spa
Running.
killed me.
I
The
love
body
when
dropping.
Teresa turns. She's like, no,
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 no.
And
Mike-
Mike's
no.
face is just like, and he shuts the door
He's
really
like,
quick.
he does. She's not chasing him, but he's like,
On
run,
a
run,
scale
run,
of
go,
1
go,
to
go.
10, like 10 being that time I
Dated
I
your daughter?
dated your sister.
Why you gotta bring that up?
Yeah, and he's like, that was me at a 10. Oh, right, my bad.
I love that it
a
was
9.
still a 9 based
Yeah.
on like that time you spilled
Better
a
make
latte.
it a
on
10.
TikTok.
Make it a 10, yeah.
I would say what actually
She knows.
She
always knows.
One part of the film that I actually really enjoyed was the change. The film had a story. the film was like trying to talk about like,
Yeah.
hey, like you're no longer the young buck you were, and like you have to take account like family is like
Well, you're-
important, and you got to do this, and like you're not invincible. So it's like that action genre that this like came from doesn't really exist.
There's so many movies I can think of in the past year that are that.
Well,
but I guess you're not gonna bring them up. So
that's what made
Ollie?
me realize that. It was like, I was like, we don't get enough of these just like action buddy cop movies that are just kind of randomly there.
I mean,
like, that
Rambo had been there for a
That's
bit.
not a buddy cop.
And-
film.
buddy cop.
But like,
Buddy cop.
like-
Buddy cop.
Rambo is like one guy.
Bloody-
He's
bloody
not
cop.
a cop. He's running from the cops.
Could it be a bloody cop?
It's
Bloody
gonna be-
cop.
was-
he's not a cop.
I was honing in on the whole like the older genre actiony guy, but then
Well, the thing
buddy
is,
cop-
a lot of the buddy cop movies we get now are the very Judd Apatow like improvised,
Right.
like ride along,
and they're
Is that the
much
one
more
with-
Yeah.
comedy
Oh,
than they
yeah,
are.
yeah,
Stuber?
yeah.
but just like
Stuber.
they're much more
Stuber,
comedy.
yeah.
Yeah.
But not ride along. The one where Let's Be Cops. That's what I'm thinking.
Yeah,
of.
they're
Let's Be
heavier.
Cops.
They're heavier on the comedy for sure. For
Yeah.
those, like what I like is the like that high action, high octane, just like Bad Boys. I basically
Lethal
just
Weapon.
wanted Bad
Well,
Boys too.
and I mean,
With
the
Lethal
thing, I
Weapon.
think the thing that killed it, in all honesty, is probably the other guys.
The other guys, yeah, because they just
Yep.
made fun of
They
every
made fun
trope.
of every cop
Yeah.
film.
That's
Um,
by the way, that's probably my favorite.
Let's aim
Will
for the
Ferrell film.
bushes. There are no fucking
Yeah.
bushes.
It's by far my favorite Will Ferrell.
I will say, like,
one of-
kind of because we're talking about buddy cops, that I like that they maintain. There's a certain kind of humor that came with '90s, early 2000s buddy cop movies
Mhm.
that it was basically kind of known for, and they kind of maintain that.
Well,
And there was some of that. I wouldn't say aged humor, but it was
Well,
just.
they
it was.
even-
You're almost not used to it.
They even said like, "This is the old school way of doing things. Here's the new school way
oh,
of doing
Ammo's the
things."
news team. They have like
right.
so
So they had
surveillance.
that. They had that stuff from the
Bad
90s
boys,
there to be
bad
like, "This is
boys,
how
what
we
you-
did things." But then they were like, "But it's a different time now. So
But
now
some
here's
of
the
the old
new
school
stuff."
shit
But
did
some
work.
of the yeah.
Like when
Um,
all their tech went out. It's all old school.
Right.
Yeah.
I think my favorite scene in this has to be the post club chase sequence.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
with the
them leaving
little
the club.
Batman.
Oh, and he
Bike.
keeps pushing
Oh
the
yeah.
The sidecar.
when he kept
Yeah.
pushing the forehead.
Oh yeah, that. But like
Oh god.
the
It's calling to me, Mike.
just him on
Yeah.
the mic with
Oh,
Martin
that's
Lawrence
the
in the
Bible,
sidecar.
Bad Boys of the Bible,
Yeah.
and he's talking himself into it. Yeah, who put that gun there?
Yeah.
God must
God
have.
must have. So on the vessel. And
Or
then
when,
like
when,
how it gets
when
to,
his head's underneath the thing, and Mike's like, "Oh, my bad. Yeah, it
Oh,
is your
yeah.
bad."
I don't want to die
But
this
I would
way.
say a fucking goat ass moment, because the thing is like, so as I've gotten older, like as a kid, you know, you like the Mike Lowry, he's like the womanizer, he does all the cool
Lowry.
shit. But then as you get older, you're like, oh, I much want to be Marcus. I want to have the life and family and not die, not get shot in the
Talking
fucking
about when
street.
he picks up
And then at the fucking, he
gun.
fucking saves Mike by picking up the fucking minigun and just starts shooting. I'm like, this is a video game now.
Yeah.
And so like it's a super dope moment because it's like Marcus is being getting shit on throughout the entire franchise.
Yeah.
And then like when he comes out, he saves it. Truly like.
But I
fucking
think that
love
was
it.
like that was them being like, okay, we need, we can't be as, like
Brazen.
over the top 90s as we want to be now, but we can do
some stuff.
we can do some stuff
That
and pay
motorcycle
homage
chase,
to it. And
when they
that was
split,
clearly
and Mike
when
kept
they
like bumping
yeah.
him out of the way of stuff.
Yeah.
I mean, speaking of how much over the top that they had to pull back on, like talking about the film, like I think they dropped the N word one time,
Twice.
Mhm.
twice, and then all the other films is like probably the most you'll ever see in like 90s films.
Mhm.
Yeah. Other than if it being like a movie about slavery. So like it's
You know
just
what
interesting.
reminded me a lot of the original two films was the moment they sneak up into the top of the club and they're just next to him and they're like,
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
birthday,
Yeah.
birthday,
Hey,
birthday,
we're
birthday,
going to
jail. Yeah. Like that.
Bust your
For me,
ass.
You say criminal, you say hey.
you say jail, criminal, jail. But like that reminded me, that scene specifically like transported me back to the
Yeah.
first and second film.
Who was that? Who was that guy? Squishy head injury man.
He was
Wasn't that
he was
Khalid?
this he
But
was
like,
was
the
no,
the-
no. I know
in
who he
real
was in
life?
the movie, but in real life,
Isn't that Khalid?
DJ
No,
Khaled is the
DJ
butcher.
Khaled is the butcher.
Was the butcher.
yeah,
Oh, okay,
DJ
yeah,
Khaled was
sorry.
the butcher, but
And
I
he
don't
get
know who
fucked.
the other guy is.
Was he
Khaled sucks.
Somebody?
Even The Rock has been like, "You're
Nicky
a butt."
Jam?
Yeah.
Zuelo.
Zuelo. That's the character.
Yeah, that's
Zuelo.
the character.
Yeah,
but
Nicky
what's his
Jam.
Nicky Jam?
I have no idea.
I feel like I've seen his face before.
Maybe.
Anywho, kind of irrelevant. Just it was itching at my head really hard.
He was
Just
in
like
Triple
much
X.
like his welt, it was itching
Triple
at my
X
head.
movies.
Gross.
He's a Latin trap reggaeton singer and songwriter.
Okay.
Maybe you heard him from something.
Probably.
Another favorite part is the is in the garage scene when Mike is
They did this to each other. You tell me you didn't
he's-
shoot people?
Well,
you know
let-
I
no,
shot
no,
some
he's
people.
on the
let
cart.
Josh talk about it.
and the smoke, like the purple smoke.
Oh,
and
yeah.
like it
It's a
was,
dope shot.
it's a dope,
Well, to
dope
me,
shot.
Like, and so actually, when we were talking about the trailers, like Ollie, you were saying like the trailers didn't do a lot for you. The trailers did a lot for me because I was
Really?
kind of like the colors are vibrant. Like, other than John Wick, there's no other action movie that have as amazing colors
Yeah.
and cinematics as this.
Well, no, my fear
agree.
was that my fear wasn't completely unfounded. My fear was that it was going to just be imitation
Mhm.
of his look, but it wasn't going to necessarily live up to like what else comes with those shots, which is like the sweeps, the length, the like
I have a
the
Discord.
crazy zoom ins that
I-
he, you
I'm
know.
gonna have a Discord with you right now. Would you say that this film did not try to imitate it, but instead just tried to make their own thing and still in the same homage of like we have to like do over the top shit?
Yeah,
Yeah, I
after
agree.
seeing
And so-
it, that's what
Because
I
they still had
went with.
they still had moments like that moment on top of the club,
Yeah.
and like the entire accountant scene
Yeah.
felt very Bad Boys
Mhm.
2 to me.
Yeah.
Like,
that was my mentality going in, like
Yeah.
not having seen anything.
when Martin's like, I'm gonna try to penetrate his soul with my heart, and then he gets punched. How deep you think you got? I love that line in that too, where he's like, "MLK tapped out. Brother Malcolm's here, and
Oh,
any
I
means
love that.
necessary." And
Actually,
we're using any means necessary.
one thing that I liked that I was actually a little worried about was when Mike got shot.
Yeah.
Because
Oh,
I
yeah.
was really worried that they were not going to play it up. Because I think you need to play it up.
Mhm.
And to me, it's like, he got shot. He's out. You can't do this no more. It's like, we don't get to see the actual absence of what happens to Mike. We don't get to see like the actual pain that Marcus is going through, like that his best friend of over 25 years is like dying in in a hospital bed. And I think a lot of films nowadays really just want to ramp up, and typically that's a time to speed up. But
Mhm.
in like a character-driven story, like that's when you slow down and you
Mhm.
let the characters kind of like understandably like, oh, I can see why Marcus doesn't want to do it, because like if you're a kid, you won't get it. And so like with film time, you really have to be careful with your minutes.
Yeah.
And so when they gave that amount of time, I think they could have went for longer. But I really
sure.
like that like
Yeah.
it wasn't like he's shot, he's in critical. Hey man, we can't do this anymore. It's like no, he's
Well,
in
it's
a
very
coma.
interesting
Yeah.
because you're spending this time with these characters and you're kind of like along for the ride. And then like another one of my favorite parts is
Captain.
well, it's the captain,
Yeah.
but it's leading up to that. So like I feel like that's when
Where are you going?
That's when the movie shifts into gear, and it's like, all right, now we're in drive,
Yeah.
and
That's
like
when you really start
That
paying
broke my
attention.
heart.
Well,
That broke
but then
my
the,
fucking
the
heart.
thing that like really it actually kind of got me a little emotional was just the shot of Will Smith on this penthouse, and then the camera just starts widen, like zooming out, and you get the
him
whole
and-
scope
him and
of
Marcus?
Miami.
Oh, when they say one last time.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No,
It
Yeah.
is.
yeah.
It's when he says one last. It's
And,
after
like,
the.
And I'm like, that's like okay.
It's when
the
the captain
captain-
dies.
It's a turning point for the movie, and you feel it, and they spend a little extra time on that shot, so it really drives it home.
The
And I
captain
really
thing,
like
that
Oh.
was broke my
That
heart.
was- that was
Like,
hard.
for
It-
real. First of all, I love that actor
Yeah.
so much. He's in like
Baby
I'll-
Zayao.
he's in a lot of my
Matrix.
favorite
It's like what we-
films.
Yeah,
a lot of my like top 10 favorite films. And
and it's like, oh
Daredevil.
man,
his scene right before it was absolutely fantastic.
Where are you going?
Yeah.
where are you going?
But I
Horse.
also
Real.
the line that he said earlier in the film that weighed heavier on me once he got shot was the fact when he was like talking to Ammo, and he was like, Mike's like a son to me. So it's
Yeah.
personal.
Then father son shit.
I know
Corey.
I'm a
You're
sucker
so
for that
weak
stuff.
for it, baby.
But like that's
And then he's about to
'cause-
go have pizza over at his house.
Yeah,
or
but
whatever,
I also
and
like to the comedic point. Like he killed that scene where he's yelling at Mike. He's like, "I want you to picture me on a thin twig, and I'm naked, and I'm fat."
and he's like, you promised. No, I visioned
I
you.
And he's, like,
visioned you being
chugging
fat
the
on a
Pepto,
twig.
Yeah.
and then he's in the hallway, and he was like, "We're gonna work together."
Also
everyone
him-
stops and like looks.
him like massaging like
Yeah.
this. I was like,
His
I'm right
sternum.
there with you.
His
Like, god
sternum.
damn,
Yeah.
yeah.
So shout out, I think
Yeah.
shout out to that actor because I think he
Was so good.
Well, I
every
would-
scene he's
so
in. That's
good.
what
I
you
would
watch.
say this, and the sad thing about it, and this is what I talk about a lot. It's like this really felt like a true loss for the characters. Nothing in the other
Yeah.
films ever came
Right.
close to this.
I agree.
Like I
Yeah.
was sad about it, but it wasn't one of those things wash that I felt was unnecessary. It wasn't a wash. It was totally 100% just
A leaf in the wind.
because I felt that I was like, yeah, they need at this point in the franchise. It's been a lot of jokes about being old and like
Well, it's
surviving so
also-
much. You need something like that.
It's also as they get older, like there starts to become more things that you can lose as you get older.
Mortality is a thing.
Well,
and so it
but also-
presents a new it presents a new thing for them.
Yeah.
A new why can't I think of the word?
Limitation, a challenge,
Limitation,
an obstacle.
challenge. Thank you. A
But,
challenge
like,
for them.
It's also the perfect arc because one of the first things Marcus says to Mike when he wakes up
Yeah.
is you're gonna get someone killed.
Yeah. No, it's a good to me, and that's why I say this film is so well structured because like at the beginning of the film, it shows you like this is the status quo.
Yeah.
And then something happens and changes that. So Mike is no longer the ultimate cop and the buddy cop is gone. So this is like almost a subversion of its own franchise where it's like we're taking the team apart and we're going to put them back together, but they're going to be changed. And Marcus is still going to be like, going to have that baby kid on his mind, but then Mike is going to have the weight of like a death on his mind.
Yeah.
And so there's always these moments of like, does Mike continue his like bloodlust and blood fury, like rampage of like, I'm killing whoever I need to kill? Or does he end up dying? Or does Marcus end up dying because of what Mike's actions are? So like his son is a moment of redemption. And it's like, you have to choose the harder path. And the harder path is just to choose family sometimes when you're living
And
this
that
like
payoff
nihilistic life.
at the end when it's just Mike and his son, and he won't fight him, and he's just like, "I'm your dad," and like that's what it is.
I almost thought I was like, Mike might die.
Yeah.
Mike might
I
die.
was-
Because if this is called for life, then I'm like, he might die.
Yeah.
And this could be the end of the franchise.
I you know what? Strangely, I like wouldn't have hated that.
Yeah.
I'm glad it didn't happen. Don't
I
get
had
me
the
wrong.
same
I
feeling.
would have
Mhm.
for sure hated if Marcus died.
Yes,
Oh,
100%.
yeah.
Oh yeah.
Definitely
the thing
wouldn't
is-
have been
The
okay.
thing is, that's such a bittersweet, nice little knife in between the
Oh,
ribs.
no.
Because it's like,
But the cat
He-
wouldn't die then. You can't lose both.
I mean, you could if you're Joss Whedon. So like, but like, so the thing is like, Marcus wanted out and
Yeah.
he had been out. And then his choice to come back in was his utter downfall. You know
Yeah.
what I mean? Like, it makes
Could
sense
have
if
been.
it's
Sorta
Could have
could
been.
But this is a buddy cop at the end of the day.
I think the ending was great, and I like I said, I would have been okay with it if Mike had to die for that. But I'm glad it didn't happen because I thought even though it's telegraphed in where the son's gonna help.
Yeah.
It was still fulfilling, even though I was like, here it is, and I think they stretched it long enough so even like me, who was like, well, the son's gonna come help, was like, okay, is it gonna happen? What's happening?
Yeah.
Do it now!
Yeah. And I just, that line that I mentioned earlier with the, like, I can't promise it'll be okay, but I promise I'll be there was such a
Oh,
nice,
so
such
good.
good writing. I know, dad, son, father, son thing. Tom's got my number now.
I love that ending scene in which the son is starting to realize it. I love transition moments.
And
when
he's like
acting,
angry about it because like he puts him over the edge, but then instead of doing anything, he like kicks the grate instead. And you're like,
Yeah.
oh shit,
Well, and so
he's learning, he's listening.
And so that's the thing too. It's also like, how do you redeem that? So like, obviously it ended on a cliffhanger. So it's like if you do bad 4-4 for real, forever.
Fan four stick,
And
bad
so-
boys, fan four stick.
And so it's like, are we going to bring in the kid? And it's like, oh, he's on our team. Remember that time he killed our captain? No, we got to kill these Russians instead. Who cares?
It's
Yeah,
I'm actually
probably.
really
Russians.
interested in some way because
You know-
like that's a good point.
And so
he
like, I
killed
would
the
like to
captain.
see how they weave it together. You know,
Yeah.
like to me, I would like him to be maybe under deep cover. Maybe
Mhm.
he then ends up living the life that his father did. You know, who knows?
I was a big fan of the stuff with Isabel,
Mhm.
with like her terrifying jail scene of
Oh,
like
man.
absolutely
The opening.
destroying
I don't
that
remember
woman.
the violence being so real in the other films.
Oh, the thing, but no,
No,
bodies
it
blowing
felt-
off,
It felt a
like
little,
pieces flying off.
Yeah, there was that, but this one was like
No, I mean
There was more
much
blood.
more
it was over the top, but I don't remember it being so like
graphically violent.
so realistic, like really realistic.
Oh, I
Yeah,
see
like,
because even
Yeah.
before when
Well,
they chopped up that Russian
well,
dude, they put
they
him in
have
a
to.
thing and put it
Tortilla.
next to him
Sorry,
in a
what?
tortilla bin.
They have to make this super intense.
yeah.
Because who the fuck is going against Mike Lowry and Marcus?
No, I'm just
you know what I
saying
mean?
it's a pleasing aesthetic
Yeah.
change because like
Yeah.
before, like I love those movies, but they have the squibs that are like
A little bit cleaner.
like
I
those
mean,
yeah.
big
I will
pink-
use
more
I'll
Hollywood.
use a reference
Yeah.
of a major franchise that we all know, Infinity War.
yeah.
Fucking snapping a neck of a god is like, all right,
Yeah.
we get it. This
Mhm.
shit's intense.
Well, I mean, like the old one. What I think you bring up a good point of another thing that I did like about this. This did kind of root us a little bit more.
Mhm.
And like the old ones, yeah, of course it's the 90s. And like I even made a comment when we were watching Bad Boys 1. The
Yeah.
sound design like was unrealistic. There were gunshots that didn't sound like the guns that
silencers.
were shooting.
Yeah.
Oh.
It sounded like silenced guns. And
But
I was
they were
like, but they
just
don't have silencers on.
Guns.
And so having this kind of movie and having like the violence or the brutality of the fights or the
Mhm.
gunshots or anything like that, it was like
Like the
That
amount
actually-
of blood in this is far greater than I remember.
Well,
Oh,
in
yeah.
the
it
others.
matured with them.
Yeah,
Like,
no, I'm just.
before
I
it
mean,
was
this
like,
is for sure a
haha,
director
hee hee.
choice thing.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah, it's a movie.
this is
yeah.
because Michael Bay's not here. Is what
Yeah.
I'm trying to say.
This-
Right.
the
And
landscape
I-
of cinema's changed.
It's I appreciated it. Like it was definitely like
Yeah.
I haven't seen a movie in a while where the violence, because I mean I've seen Tarantino and stuff like that, but again that's very Hollywood over the top kind of stuff. I haven't seen anything that's grounded it quite like this in a way.
Well, think
Yeah.
about
Like
it.
they'll
Like,
either hide it, shoot it around, but like people had blood all over their hands for following scenes
Yeah.
and like
well, and
I know it was well
the
done.
guard was soaked
Yeah.
in blood.
Well, on
The-
purpose, but
Bad Boys 2, like Martin Lawrence gets shot in the butt in the
Yeah.
beginning, and it's like a joke or whatever.
Right.
And this one,
And they make
Mike
it a-
gets shot 3 times in the chest,
And it's intense.
and they
it's
introduce
scary.
real stakes. So like,
Yeah.
I think that also helps with the intensity of like, man, like this.
this is
is
real.
I did like that
time
they
now.
referenced the butt shot.
Yeah.
in
It's like, oh
the-
my good ass.
oh my good ass.
I know that they were talking about Viagra when he was like, "You still got those little blue pills," but it was
The
almost like a
ecstasy?
callback to the
Yeah.
When he takes
second
the
movie.
ecstasy?
Yeah.
One of my favorite sequences in that film too.
Favorite characters?
Sure.
Oh man. Jesus.
So
I'm gonna say right now, I can't. When it comes to Mike and Marcus, they're a character in themselves.
I was
Yeah.
gonna say, if
Okay.
you want, then we could just do
Just
do
Aside from them,
both of them, and then like who's your secondary character?
I mean,
Okay.
since I already chimed in, I will say I love them two together as the one, and then my side would be Captain Howard.
Oh.
I love him so much,
Mhm.
and I just loved his place in the story, in this one, and the lessons that he had to teach.
When he's telling that story and he's like, I can't remember if he's Buddhist or not. And then Mike's finally just like, let's just say they're both Buddhists.
Yeah.
Okay, they're both Buddhists. And,
But also, I like when his
ask
daughter
the
shot the
horse.
basket and missed. He's like, family
Family
Got the family curse.
and I was like, oh, so
and
good.
he's yelling at her, take the shot.
Winners take shots.
I think I agree with that. Same.
Yeah?
Like the
Samesies?
seeing the captain back, and then especially how
Oh, Rita?
he works into. Well, it just
no, you
more.
already said it too bad.
It's how he works in. I wasn't gonna change it.
He's so ready.
How he works into the plot more. I feel like it's a bit
Yeah.
more of a. It was a bit more of a satisfying character
Yeah.
journey for him.
And then Rita.
Yeah.
And
Sad,
then
but-
Rita would be a
I
secondary.
mean, my
'cause she's-
next would
that's
be
my
Rita.
shout out because like
I dug her.
she is. I haven't seen her in like anything else. I think she might be kind of newer.
Well,
She is
actually-
actually a legit telenovela actor.
Perfect.
So
Yeah.
I loved all those like
When he was like,
this is
some
like a true telenovela shit.
Yeah.
And I'm
Uh,
like, she's a true one. She's
Um,
been there.
I hope she's in more things because she killed it.
she's in.
She's she no not the
you,
Bruja.
you should watch the
Oh,
Purge.
Rita.
Rita.
The
Rita,
Purge. I
yeah.
think
It's
he's
not
talking
Isabel.
about the Brujas.
No, I'm
Oh.
fucking talking about
Rita?
Okay,
You're talking about Rita,
let's
right?
finish it, and then you're done.
So
Wait, no. Because I want to know, is Rita's a telenovela actress?
yeah, yes,
Oh,
okay.
because when I looked it up, the witch,
the Bruja both.
They might both be.
she's a
a-
telenovela. And
Oh, there you go.
They fucking did their research, got true people to play the parts.
Yeah. But she did
From what I
she did
read.
awesome. She she was awesome in that final sequence with that shot. And
Yep.
she was just always a badass, like reloading her gun. I was like, oh my God, you're amazing.
So mine, if it's Mike and Marcus,
Yeah.
Rita's second for
Okay.
sure,
Mhm.
hands down. The thing I liked about her is that like she kind of, in a weird way, this is I guess a tropey thing about women characters in male-dominated films. They just tend to be relegated to the common sense person.
Mm.
But I liked that in some ways she was like, I don't know, it's like she was authoritarian, but then also like still part of like, we're part of the team. Because
Yeah.
sometimes when you're removed and you're authoritarian, you're not part of like the internal drama, what
you're
happens.
not in the clique.
So
Well, I like that they had a history. So it was almost like she
I did
just
like
like
the, oh,
didn't
you
even
healed?
bother.
You're healed? Yeah. And then like punches him immediately.
Immediately.
but no,
Yeah.
also I think in that shot, like you see her fucking biceps, like, God damn, baby, you're looking better
I
than Will
know.
Smith.
Her-
Shit.
Her shoulder is quite strong.
Knee him in the nuts.
yeah.
And let's do this.
But no, I actually really liked her character in it and like how she had her own team and it's been going on. I don't know. There's something about it where I was just like really like I want to see more what happens with her. And for me, my proposed thing is that they continue doing Bad Boys movies.
they
and
are.
They spin off and then just do an Ammo series.
Okay.
And so Ammo's led by her, and then her son, the son is part of it.
There you
and
go.
so there's like
That's
that
good.
weird
Interesting.
drama. It's like
Maybe
you're,
down for
you're
that.
dating my dad, but also I killed a lot of people.
I know Bad Boys 4 is coming and Bay is coming back as a producer for it.
Which I mean,
Wait, what?
that's kind of where he
Michael Bay's coming back as a
shines. I think a
producer.
little bit as a
Yeah.
producer.
Wait,
I'd agree with that.
what? Oh, that's your like wish list.
No, I'm telling you
No,
that's
it's
what's
happening.
happening. Bad Boys 4 is happening, and Michael Bay is returning as to produce it. He did not produce this one. He was just a
Mhm.
cameo.
Mhm.
He was not attached.
He,
in any
didn't, he
other way.
wasn't attached.
Jerry
to it.
Bruckheimer
Oh,
produced it.
I thought we were joking about Bad Boys 4 being real.
No.
No.
But it's
It's for
real.
real.
It's Bad Boys
I mean,
4.
that last scene was
ever.
basically
Ever.
like a slap you in the face. There's
yeah,
another movie.
I
Well,
got that part, but I thought it was like
when-
we don't know.
I'm
Maybe
pretty
we'll keep
sure
it up.
I
and
talked
maybe
about
kind
it
of.
on one of our updates a long time ago, but when they announced like Bad Boys movies were coming out, like it was Bad Boys 3 and then Bad Boys 4 Life. And so they changed it to this
Oh.
called Bad Boys for Life. And then I think
Because
they
they're changing
wanted to
it a
make
little.
sure if they can actually get it.
Yeah.
Because this could have
Got
tanked.
it.
January is the time for movies to tank.
Yeah.
Oh.
And every other movie other than this that came out this
We
week
were worried.
tanked.
Huh.
We were worried, I think, at one point. We were like, oh, it's January.
I honestly, part of me believes that shot on the docks where they're like, I'm not going to therapy. Yeah, me neither. We doing this for life? For life. Was a reshoot when they're
Yeah.
like,
We got it.
this movie's hyped.
Well, like they
people
probably
are-
got some pre-screenings and like, okay, people like it. Well, I mean, and to me, I wasn't really worried because to me, I would no matter what have liked it.
Right.
Because the thing is, like, this movie is for a person like me who watched it 20 years ago,
Mhm.
but then like modern audiences may not like it.
Mhm.
So it's like
Right.
it doesn't
It was a
matter for me.
gamble.
And like no one liked 27% Rotten Tomatoes score in the second one, so no one liked that one apparently
But-
either.
Luckily, Will Smith and Martin Lawrence are amazing still.
And wanna do it.
so,
Well, the writers.
So
yeah.
people love it.
50-year-old
so
action stars.
your favorite.
Probably. Well, actually, I want to ask you because I know you can do it, Mike or Marcus. I know you can decide.
Oh, for me, my favorite character for this film, I think it'd have to be Mike.
Okay.
Because he has a foreseeable arc.
Right.
And then
Mhm.
Marcus is kind of like,
That's what I
is he
said.
gonna die?
For me, same thing. It would be Mike if I had to choose between the two. But if I don't have to, then
No.
I won't. Side character would probably be Captain. Like I said, that actor is like a trump card for me. Like I just love. I think he's one of the most interesting parts of the Matrix too. Like his character
He's
is
my favorite
fascinating.
part of the Matrix.
Yes.
And also the tech guy.
Yeah,
Ah,
Dorn.
yeah.
is
His
awesome.
backstory
Dorn.
into his like
You like his little
transitioning.
You like his Dr. Jekyll, Mr. Hyde, Donatello shit?
Yeah, and then at the
Mhm.
end, the like. So my therapist suggested we all go to like a group session.
session.
Everyone's like, "Cool, yeah,
Yeah. I'm not going.
love it."
Oh my God.
I just love him. And I loved him in the Final Girls.
Yeah.
Like,
Apparently he's
Aw.
great in Vikings. So, Caitlin, did you go?
I have
No.
not yet.
All right, moving on. So,
Wow. No, I'm gonna go anyway. I would probably say Mike between Mike and Marcus, just because.
Mike.
Yeah, Marcus is
Lowry.
like I don't really
I
want
don't
to
trust
do
anybody
anything
who
anymore.
doesn't want to kill him.
Yeah.
So
Hell,
Mike
add
is
me to the list.
still more excited
I'm
about
listening.
doing things and stuff, and then Dorn because Dorn all the way. Actually, Dorn probably supersedes even among the mains for me, just because he's like the gentle giant, and
Yeah.
I'm all about
But
that.
also there's-
super smart, super buff. That's my type.
there's that
Nice.
there's that good moment between Mike and Rita, and then he's like, "Oh, excuse me, sorry."
Yeah.
You're, like,
No, he's
you're
like-
the biggest motherfucker. You go around them.
He's like, I'm so.
but
I'm,
it's
I'm
like,
so sorry, sir.
you know,
Excuse me,
That's
sir.
when he figured. He's like, "So you're the tech guy, huh?"
He's like, I feel more. I feel more safe.
Do you
from
notice
him."
what he says to Mike when he's gonna hack the phone while they're getting in trouble? I'm gonna have to go to the dark side for this.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Uh,
He's so cute.
So now for the qualms.
So for this section, we've each picked 2, regardless of how many we have. If you'd like to hear more, join the Nerd Nation, join our discussion on Discord. But here's our top 2 qualms.
It's only
each.
filled with qualms in that Discord, baby.
Yeah.
Corey, you want to start us off?
Yeah, for me, a little bit of the edits affected the pacing for me. There was a lot of quick jumps and a lot of the scenes that I thought could have been held for another 5 seconds, maybe.
Mhm.
And it's not much, but when you're watching it and taking it in, it's enough for me to be like, oh shit, that's done already. Okay, cool. So it's not, I mean, it's not a very big one. It didn't break the movie for me, but there was just a lot of moments in it where I wish a certain shot had held longer or
Yeah.
the editing wasn't quite as quick between
Yeah.
cuts.
I felt that definitely throughout.
And it affects the pacing a little
It
bit.
does, yeah, and especially when like I think one of them is like an act change too,
Yeah.
and it's
Huh.
like a beat, and you're immediately in the next act.
Weird.
and
Yeah.
it's just
I-
doesn't even.
Did not notice
Slow
that
down.
at all.
Yeah.
Kaylin, if we've established something on the show, you noticed moles on necks, but not cinematography.
Yeah. So yeah, that affected me in a small way, and it was just, and then the good news is I just wanted more.
Yeah.
So that's kind of good. The only other thing, and this is such a small thing, is the glasses gag didn't pay off for me
Glasses.
For one
oh,
reason.
That's right.
Oh,
because very early on in the film, you see him put his glasses on to watch TV. So when he says this shit's HD,
It's not his first player.
you're like,
he's
yeah,
worn
you
ever.
know it is, dude. So
Yeah.
like.
yeah.
For me, the way to fix that is for him to resist it the whole time,
Mhm.
and for Mike to have packed his glasses and tossed it to him in that moment.
Yeah.
And he's like, "Put the damn
It was a
glasses
very
on."
quick, like,
And then when he does, if he pops up and like 3 headshots immediately, and then pops back
Aw.
down, it's like it's
Yeah.
like HD.
Play it in
Been
more.
telling you.
Can I
Yeah.
add on to that?
Yeah.
It would have been cool if he's like, you called Rita, and then he's like, Rita, and then gives him the glasses. Like, it's like, I knew.
You call Angela. Yeah.
You know, it's like, I knew you called Rita, and I told her to bring your fucking glasses.
Yeah.
And so it would have been like, oh, they're learning together. But
So,
then,
like-
yeah, if it, like he had deferred from not taking the glasses, it could have been an arc for him.
Yeah.
Where he's not really accepting old age either.
Right. But you see it so early on during that Fast and the Furious montage.
Yeah.
You see him put him on to watch TV.
Mhm.
So for me, it was like when he's surprised that it's HD, it was like, yeah, but we know you know. So I think that could have been a small fix to make that joke just pay off tenfold.
Yeah.
And that's my 2 qualms.
Nice.
Cool.
Go ahead, guys.
Do you want to go?
Mine was just some of the Mike Lowry methods. I don't know why, like the old school stuff of him being like, this shit still works, but then it's like you're just brutalizing people. I don't know.
That's the point.
I know it's the point. It just something about it didn't sit right with me.
Like it
I don't know.
didn't age well for you.
Yeah, like I don't know why. And I know that they were showing the old school versus new school and how both methods have their own merit of like why they work and how they work.
Well, I mean, the thing they paired it every single time that he got information, Ammo would have already had it.
Right,
And
right.
so-
So that's what I mean is like they were both useful. It's still outdated methods.
Yeah.
Because
if
there are ways to do it without hurting anybody.
Yeah, if
but-
anything, it shows like the futility of it.
right.
Because I remember taking a film class and then showing like this scene from The Wire. And it's like, this is how like some detectives actually be. That's not fucking like CSI and shit like that. It's like getting actual information is not busting down doors and doing that shit. It's actually just like the hard work, state of the art information, like
Yeah.
going
Right.
in and seeing.
There's a great video by my buddy's company, Corridor Crew. Shout out to Nick Laurent, where they talk about making a movie and how it's particularly made and why certain jobs are still there, even though they exist from when like film had reels and stuff like that.
Yeah.
And we didn't have monitors and all that kind of stuff. He's like, there's like 30 or 40 jobs that are technically like not needed anymore. And so they do this they make a film while eliminating as much as they can. And it's actually really interesting. So the same kind of concept. It's like, yes, the old fashioned ways were there for a reason, but now like when he pulls up all 3 clubs and then they see, oh, he's got a birthday scheduled there. Cool. That's great.
The old fashioned way is actually more for just the audience to be like, I want to see violence.
Yeah. Or action.
I think they
movement.
also left it in more for the purpose
Like
of
when
showing the differences.
Right.
between
And,
the
and,
text
and I
the
get it.
And
Like
some
I
jokes.
understand where it's
Who
coming
wants to
from.
sing
It just
good
still
men?
didn't sit right
Good
with
men,
me.
yeah.
So
Yeah.
to speak.
Like when he DJ
Good
Khaled
man,
grabs
good
his suit and he's got the
Oh,
pig fat and he's like, I'm not wearing hockey
Oh my
pants.
god!
I was
And-
really invested. I was really like,
What point's he making?
what is he
So
What was he
Caitlin,
gonna say?
on that side, you would actually be on the ammo side.
Yeah.
I
You
would
would
be on
watch
the
Ammo.
ammo
But
side.
beat bad boys for life. Bad boys.
Yeah,
Boys.
have fun breaking fingers, I
Remy.
guess. Anyway,
Second-
my
second
second
qualm?
qualm is all the witch stuff.
The
I
brouhaha?
felt, like, I think they just wanted some weird mystical shit in there, and then we're just like witches, and I don't know.
I mean, she's not really a witch. They
I-
just call her that because she killed so many people.
Yeah, I know. I guess it just felt weird.
And she prayed to the devil. She's a
Ye-
Satanist.
Satanist, yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I felt like that wasn't as prominent to me. It was just like she's a witch, and witches are evil and murder people. That's the feeling that I got from it, and it's just like.
Well, I mean,
Yeah,
like
I mean, it's a lore from a different cult. It's like any cartel member where they call him
The
El
butcher,
Diablo. Yeah,
Oh,
like,
blah,
yeah,
blah.
yeah,
Well,
yeah.
I would
she's
say-
the witch.
And I mean, the thing
The
is that the
brouhaha.
translation to a American audience is like, people, Wiccan and all that stuff. So it's like, it is different when you translate it. But also, I would say that is part of bad boy DNA. And there is a lot of problematic shit
Right.
in
Yeah.
bad boy
No,
DNA.
they had the like Haitian voodoo stuff in
like,
previous
did you
ones as
feel
well.
like it was problematic or like
But
tropey or something?
or just
like
wasn't explored enough to
it
include it.
I think it just wasn't explored enough. Like
Okay.
it just felt very surface level of like she's a witch, so somehow
Accept
it
it.
feels supernatural that she's
Yeah.
a witch, but she's not. She just murders
Well,
people.
it's interesting because I don't know if I initially picked up anything supernatural other than her like speaking in tongues, but that was just kind of like her thing.
Right.
But-
Well, and that's where some of my weird Marvel movie feel came from because I was like,
Sure, I can see that, especially
Sort
in
of
the
a-
opening.
For me,
right.
it was explained in Mike's thing where he was like, she was a cartel guy's wife. She
Yeah.
killed a bunch of people, and they
people.
nicknamed her the Bruja.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I
and-
mean,
I didn't get any
Martin
supernatural.
Lawrence was just, I think, playing it up for comedy of like,
Right.
like you're
Oh,
like somebody
yeah.
that's called a witch, you would date them.
I,
Like,
and
that's,
I would
yeah.
kind of like, if we turned it and made it like, if she was like super like Christian or Catholic, it's like they call her the nun.
but
Yeah.
You know,
I
it's
guess
like, it makes the same.
They
I
called
guess
her the
when they
mother.
set it up with like the guard in the initial before they start stabbing the shit out of the guard,
Yeah.
where she's like speaking in tongues and somehow that's terrifying. Like I to me that seemed a little like much. I guess.
It could be a culture thing too, though.
Yeah, I mean,
Yeah, like
have
maybe
your
it would be
Christianity
fucking
and-
terrifying if someone's speaking in tongues in front of me, but I don't know. Just
Like
like,
she could have just turned
she's
around
like-
and stabbed her in the neck or something. You're saying,
Or
it
she
was like a
could've-
performance.
yeah, something about that small interaction.
kids were
set
afraid of
that up
people who
for me.
speak in parcel tongue, baby. You never know, man.
That's a good point. That's a good point.
I think
But
she's
yeah,
because they always
Yeah, I
show
get you.
her next to like the altar and stuff like that. So I think she is deeply religious. I think that's maybe part of her character's
Yeah.
like thing.
Praying to
So-
the devil.
Yeah,
so-
like I'm
Or
about to
the-
sacrifice someone
the-
to you or something like that.
The
Like,
saint of death.
yeah, like a
Yeah.
weird prayer before she kills. Maybe I don't know.
Josh,
Yeah.
Qualms.
you're next.
I mean, with this film, I don't have a lot of qualms. I mean,
Up to
the-
2.
Yeah, the two that I would say is that I really felt like Marcus ended up being much more a side character than
Hmm.
a part of the duo
yeah.
that it used to be. Like it used to be like a duo, and Marcus felt much more like a side character in this one.
Instead of the
It was
duo.
definitely
and-
Mike's story, and Marcus was just kind of along for
Yeah.
the ride in the sidecar,
yeah,
kind of getting squished every once in a while.
And then the only thing that rubbed me the wrong way was the therapy jokes.
Yep.
For me,
Yeah,
Mhm.
very
it just rubbed me the
uncomfortable.
wrong way because I feel like there's still a stigma around therapy and it's so much fun and it's funny. You need therapy and
I'm
it's
The
not
like,
only,
hey,
going
one,
to
the only one
that.
that didn't bother me is that I'll pay for your therapy.
that
Thank you.
first
I'm
one
gonna
I
need
was
it.
like, that's funny. And then the second one where they just
Group
made it a
therapy.
joke, I was like,
I ain't going
and
to therapy.
everybody's like,
Well, I mean,
kind of.
it's
For
because
me,
that's
it was
from the second one.
What do you
Because
mean? What's
instead
from the
of
second one?
everyone goes to therapy in the second one, the entire police force goes to therapy,
Oh, right,
and
right.
Mike has sex with his therapist.
Oh, right.
And like to me, again, that's some bad boys problematic shit, baby.
Yeah, well, that's also, I mean, to speak to that point, that's also of the times.
Yeah.
I mean, therapy used to be a joke.
Yeah.
Still is.
I mean,
Unfortunately.
I would say
Yeah.
it's not a
Not to the
joke.
level that it.
Yeah.
it
It's an open
was.
discussion now. Yeah.
It's not a joke, but it's definitely not seen as a normality. It's seen as weird or different or anything like that.
Yeah.
It's seen as other.
Yeah.
So
That's
Ali or
That's me. No.
I think
two.
Well, one is the editing, same as
Yeah.
Corey. But then I actually wanted a few more like payoffs to like Michael Bay and like the
Homage, you mean?
Um,
a few more homages to him?
Yeah.
Oh.
Omelette du
Two.
fromages.
Yeah. What did I say?
You said
Payoffs.
payoffs.
Oh, payoffs. Yes. Sorry. Homages to the older movies.
Mhm.
And like part of me wanted that like sweeping shot to be like perfect the same because it wasn't. It was a little jittery and weird.
It was
like,
a little
that, like,
faster.
that it was faster.
It was
Yeah,
also
I
in
had
a
the same
comedy
thought.
moment.
What's that?
It was also following a comedy moment instead of like a
Right.
badass
And it
Serious
wasn't like
moment.
it wasn't like the end of a big realization or anything like that. So I was like, okay, like you used it, but like not well enough. But that's just like a minor.
I
thing.
mean,
would've
nothing's
liked
going to
it.
beat that first one. Let's be
Yeah,
honest, though.
yeah.
That's true. That's a true
That
fact.
at the one at the end of the first film is just like, holy shit.
Mhm.
So good.
But I was like, I just want like the craziest sequence where like, they have the same kind of chase scene, but like with an airplane this time.
Yeah.
Or like, just to amp it up. But
He threw a plane at us.
right. But having like looked back on it, I don't feel like it was I don't feel like it was missing. It would have just been
Mm-mm.
cool to have.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Is that
Smidge
your
longer.
two?
That's it. Yeah.
Tom?
Mine is for
Not much.
sure the lack of Michael Bay.
Mm.
Because that's something in a weird way. It's like going to see, another
I feel like I
Iron
would
Man.
never hear you say that.
It's like seeing another Iron Man movie. Instead, you get Shane Black. So, like watching this, I was
so
like,
you get a good one. Ask Anthony and Steve's.
oh, that's only him. That's only him.
I
Just
love
because
Iron
he has
Man 3.
personal attachment to it.
I love Iron Man 3.
But like, it's just
No
like
shame.
such a directorial
I
change.
also love Shane Black.
It is.
Which is like such. I think I honestly like to me that was the biggest letdown walking out of the theater was that like wanted more of the like the thing about Michael,
Michael
Bay.
Bay-ness?
It's not that the movies don't make sense or that he objectifies women. Is that everything he looks
mean, he
like
does,
He
but-
does, but
Yeah.
that's
And
not
they
to me.
don't.
I would say like is the thing that was missing. It's the thing that every shot looks like a fucking commercial.
Yeah.
And I
That's-
missed
yeah,
that.
I'll-
And like the only time they did that was the first scene. And because I think that they're like, we have to use this for the sizzle. So when you get done, send it out. But after that, do your own shit. And like there is a leeway to be like, the director's got to make their own stand and they can't just pay homage the entire time. They have to do their own thing.
Right.
But to me, it's like it's a franchise, so it's already done one thing. And so like that thing where you're asking about, it's like kind of like what Fast and Furious did. So like they had different directors for the first 3 films, and then Justin Lin was like, I got it. And then it's like, cool. So everything's super Justin Lin. And then like if these 2 directors had started it, and then later on Michael Bay took it off, it's like it probably could have done well. But since we had the reverse of it, like we now end up having stories that are more cohesive and like structured, but like now I've lost almost all the style. And so like it's interesting. It's like, what do you want? Do you want the style? Do you want the substance? And it's like I got the substance, and apparently a lot of people like it too. So I guess it's a lesser of two evils.
Feel like we still maintain the style though. I mean, not as much as there once was. So I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
But
For me, it's
I
a step
feel
forward.
like it didn't. Yeah,
but I'm just not a Michael Bay
I'm in
fan.
agreement
That's
there.
why.
I'm not. I wouldn't say I'm even a Michael Bay fan, but I will preach his fucking gospel and be like, yo, his shit's
Not a
fucking
fan,
hard to make.
just,
For
just
sure,
a
yeah.
No,
fanatic.
I think I'm there with you with the.
I'm not a fan,
Just
but
a
holy shit.
fanatic.
I will preach his fucking gospel.
Yeah, like
Yeah, I'm not
I'm right
arguing
there
that
with
at
you.
all.
There's like because I was
He's an
watching Bad
American
Boys
auteur.
2
Yeah.
leading up to 3. I watched through 2
Yeah.
again, and I was like, this is amazing because of like the combination of things. Because it looks like a commercial. It's like the most ridiculous. Like you're establishing that it's a club scene. Okay, so what's the natural thing to do? Get 2 inches away from a girl's ass with
Yeah.
the camera.
And
Yeah.
like,
You know, and like that's Michael Bay.
I think these guys did the
there's
comedy
something to
way
it.
better than Michael Bay ever could.
yeah, for
I kinda
sure.
agree with that. Yeah.
Which for me is story and the comedy in this is more important than the action. Like
Yeah.
I think that's my argument. I'm a different person.
Mhm.
For me,
But there's a curiosity. I think Tom might share the same. Where it would have been interesting to see what Michael Bay would have done with the third one, having it being
And
such
the
a
thing
big
is, like,
gap.
a lot
com-
more
that-
spinning,
That comes
a lot
down.
more
spinning.
explosions.
That to me, that comes down to writing too. These are
Yeah.
different writers.
Sure,
So,
yeah.
like,
too.
to me, like these writers
But
actually
also-
knew, like, hey, how do we bring them back? Like we've already exploded all of the favelas.
Right. Well,
So-
no, but I'm not even talking about just how good the jokes are. I'm saying that these directors shot comedy better. Like the shot of them in the busted up van, leaning forward,
yeah.
and like,
Oh, wasn't it? Oh, Happy Day playing as
yeah,
well.
it was Oh Happy Day. But like, I think that's in Mike's, at least my viewing experience of Michael Bay films, that's not something he's great at. Like he probably would have had the van pull into shot and have them get out, but to be able to follow them in the car on a busy street elevates that joke for me just a few more steps.
Yeah.
And
What
for
I've
me,
noticed-
I don't miss Michael Bay, but I do get what you're saying.
What I've noticed, what Michael Bay does is like a default for when he can't like figure out what he wants to do. I think he just kind of does the generic like panning across
Or
the entire scene
pan out.
as things are just happening, like a long
Yeah.
take.
No, and so yeah, I mean, I definitely
So
saw
yeah,
that.
I agree with
like
that.
when they went to go see the guy that knocks Martin Lawrence out and they shoot him with the taser. Like I was like, this is a boring shot. And then I would see other parts like, this is a boring shot. Then I was like, that's really weird because I walked in and I was like, I was expecting to see like dope, crazy shots. And like, I'm not saying style makes the film, but it's definitely something that I felt that was like lost. But like in that sense, again, it's a lesser of two evils. So we now have breathed new life into it. So like, I want to be able to see these two directors possibly take this franchise out and become the next Fast and Furious.
Just a little side note. I felt it was weird for me to hear that like the Tase stuff was like a boring shot to you because to me, this movie, I understand what you're saying.
No.
But,
Out on
like,
top, yeah.
I viewed this as like more action packed than the last one because I actually phased out from how long things took.
No, and then there's one thing that I actually really don't like about Michael Bay style is that everyone fucking looks sweaty. I hate that shit.
Yeah.
That didn't bother me.
And none of that didn't happen at all. So I was like, at least they fucking found the towel to wipe
Yeah,
themselves
right.
down. Jesus
I did
Christ.
love in that scene. I did love when the guy's like, "Don't come over here," and Mike's just outside, like, "Don't go over there."
Yeah. So I mean,
Don't do it.
so that was one big thing, but also second thing is more of two things where I kind of saw some nuts and bolts that fell apart. Where at the end I felt like they had just melted through their budget because bullet shots looked like shit, and then also cuts like CGI started looking really bad.
Oh.
And I was like, because there's one shot where it's like so close to the camera, and like the muzzle of the gun is like right next to the camera, and you shoot it, and I was like, man, they look like when I first edited a gunshot on Windows Movie Maker.
I noticed that too.
Yeah, I was like,
like,
that's hella bad, and I was like, whoa. Then I was like, look, they don't have all the fucking DC Marvel budget and shit, but it's like, man,
I noticed
There
There
was,
was
there
one
was
shot.
one I noticed when it was like angled up, and it
yeah,
was
no,
like,
it's
sweeping
literally
this
the
way.
gun comes this way,
Mhm.
bang.
I got an idea.
Oh,
Can we do this with
looks
MS
so
Paint?
bad.
Yeah.
It looks
That's
so bad.
so weird because I didn't notice a single thing of that.
Well,
But
Yeah.
I'm also not
Well.
into the movies making.
So what have we
staring at
established,
every
Kaylin? You
frame
only like to
business.
critique the human form, but not the. Okay.
Yeah.
So,
No, actually, my mole would have been the blood on the gold van because it
Oh.
was obviously red paint.
oh yeah, for sure.
What was
Yeah.
dope was the
That's my mole. That's my little mole.
a part that I loved. Again, it was part of that chase sequence was the like weird, like not freeze frame, but just the really dramatic time ramp for him like turning around on the motorcycle and shooting the Uzi
Oh.
backwards.
Mm.
That was a cool
it's
shot.
it's the type of camera they're using now. It's I was looking into it. They used it
like a
completely. It's
240
the
or
only
something?
camera they used on Gemini Man.
What?
Ang Lee is like it's a Sony.
Super high.
It's a Sony camera.
You know
It's-
why? Because Jerry Bruckheimer produced Gemini Man.
Distributed by Sony.
There you go.
So-
Super high refresh rate. They're
And
like,
so, I mean-
but yeah, if you look at Gemini Man, you can see it. You're like, what the? It's
Looks
almost like a
awesome.
weird mix between like a super high quality camera and like that weird iPhone look, where
weird,
you're
yeah.
like, it's almost a home movie,
like a flip camera. or something.
but it's somewhere in
Huh.
between. And they used it on a lot of the action shots
Yeah.
in this.
So
Dope.
yeah,
Cool.
those are my two.
Dope,
Cool.
dope, dope.
All right, now we go on to
Rating.
the rating. Last
So first is
sequence
me
of the
and
show.
Tom.
Wonder
you
what
go
it might
first.
be.
I'll go first.
Yeah, you go
Yes.
first.
3.7.
3.7.
What?
3.7.
Nice.
Wow.
It's a good, fun action movie, but I'm gonna be like, I think it goes well with like The Departed and the other. No,
The
it's
Departed
not.
is a 3.7 to you?
No, it's not. It's high.
Oh.
It's a lot higher. But I'm
Oh,
not
okay.
putting. I'm saying I'm not putting this up there with them.
I thought you were like, it's as good as The Departed. And I was like, where the fuck is your bar?
No, exactly. That's what I'm saying. Like, I'm not putting this near Spider-Man 2. I'm not putting this near Dark Knight at all.
No, I
So
get
I'm
it
like,
now. I get it now. I
I'm
was
like,
on
no,
the total
it's-
opposite side of the coin.
It's totally an enjoyable film, and I
Like-
liked it, and I enjoyed it, and I think
Where is your bar?
this is not a easy film to make, as well as not a act easy to follow.
yeah.
So,
Which is why I gave it a 4.3.
Okay.
Wow.
The other Bad Boys films may be higher than that. Who knows?
I'll tell you right now, the first one is.
But we talk a lot about leaving the theater.
Mhm.
And I was legitimately laughing as I left, hearing people talk about favorite parts. Like legitimately laughing out loud.
Yeah.
Hearing people's conversations about moments. And I can't remember the last time I've done that after a comedy. Especially one that I
Been a
had
while.
2 of the stars that I loved in it. And like,
Because there's not a lot of good comedies now.
so for me, I gave it a little nerd on nudge. It was gonna be just a 4.
Yeah.
But that leaving the theater, audibly laughing and just being, I was like giddy,
I want to think maybe Tropic Thunder. I was like
Maybe,
laughing
yeah.
out of the theater that much.
That
Like,
might
That was
be
a
it.
while ago.
which
That
is
was a while ago.
2007, 8.
Yeah.
Getting to the
Uh,
Greek was that for me.
Oh,
So
it's
like,
a long time ago.
yeah, I definitely, it would be a 4, but because of that, like 4.3 for me.
Mhm.
I was genuinely joyous for the rest of the night.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Aw.
And I saw it twice. And both
Oh.
times I felt just as joyous.
Mhm.
Nice.
Wow.
Nice.
Weren't we just talking about how you wanted to feel joy?
Dude, I'm telling you, Tom and I were listening to Game Grumps the other day, and I was like, I haven't laughed like that in years. And then
It happens.
through this movie, I laughed just like that. There was a part, the airplane scene, I was crying. I was laughing so hard.
Oh my
So,
god.
4.3.
Damn.
Nice.
Next is Joshua.
Joshua. I am going to
Joshua.
give this a 4. No.
Joshua.
What?
4.5.
Nice.
Okay, and the only reason why I took off 0.5 is that
Wow.
all of the other ones had, that's how you do this. From
Oh.
now on.
That's how you shoot.
Oh.
That's how you
That's
shoot.
how you shoot.
From now on, that is how you. But then I
Yeah.
was like,
Oh. And they didn't have a. They didn't have one of those
They did.
points.
I'm just kidding. No, it was a 4.5. It was a really fantastic experience. Yeah, it's a fantastic
Galen.
experience.
You are next.
She's like a 4.7.
Yeah. I
just
like
read
the
it.
movie.
I could just read
just
it.
really liked the movie a lot.
Hell yeah.
I'm the grump of this
It
house.
was probably so. Yeah, I don't know. I laughed a bunch. I saw the movie by myself, but I was sitting next to this guy who was also seeing the movie by himself, and we laughed at the exact same time on literally everything.
Aw.
I saw
Had
it
the
by
exact
myself,
same
too.
reaction to everything. So shout out to you, random guy. I don't
Love at
know what your
first
face
laugh.
And with
looks
the two
like.
guys next to me were having the time of their fucking life. It made the experience so much better. I was
Right?
like, you
Yeah.
guys, they were like kids at Disneyland. Like they were
Mhm.
laughing at everything. It's great.
Ollie?
Ollie?
Yeah, it was great.
Mine is a 4.8.
Wow.
I love.
Is there an opposite
this
grump?
Goddamn
Yeah.
movie.
Wow.
Like I actually like this more than the first one.
Wow.
I
yeah.
will agree with you.
Whoa.
Not the second.
Yep.
The second I like the
No.
most.
What?
You like
Oh,
the
Yep.
second
I like the
the
second the
most?
most.
Wow.
Nobody
Um,
likes the second
I'm
one.
telling you, there's something
Except
about
for
it where
Ollie.
That's how you right now.
I'm telling you, it is. Two has, because I watched it again. Like I said, it has such a special place in my heart.
I don't know what that fucking
Aw.
means.
It means
It holds a
that
special place in his heart.
No, it's like
That it's
this
locked
is
let,
away.
let the
Why
boy
is
it locked
explain,
away?
and then we'll learn.
it just everything about it was like it was shot so well. It would look pretty. It was colorful. It looked like a commercial every shot.
It's
the dialogue
Like,
is
for
hilarious.
you, it's like the Empire Strikes Back syndrome. We know the characters. Let's
Exactly.
have fun.
Let's have fun with it.
Well,
And then
so
the
far all
third
you've
one-
said is that your eyes were stimulated.
and the well,
He's allowed to
Yeah,
like
so
something
my
because
brain
of
was
that.
as well.
Well, it was like, well, different than Empire, where it's like this fucking story.
Anyway, Ali, and then the third one.
Yeah, and then the third one was it just surprised me at every turn, and it positively surprised me and how much I was enjoying it, and everything was funny, and
So for
I
you,
was
it's
taken back. I was emotional.
2, 3, 1.
Yeah.
Okay.
2, 3, 1.
Wow.
So
Let's
that
not
means,
do that because we might do the other episodes.
Yeah, Tom. That means
Well, I didn't
Tom
give you the score though.
is the grump
True.
of the week. So shout out to our Nerd on Nation member Jackie.
Jackie knew.
Jackie.
Jackie
Nice.
knew.
She knows me. That's why.
She knows. So she got it right. Shout out. Shout out. If you want to participate in our Guess That Grump, please join the Nerd on Nation.
She remembers
Of the
Sake
Nerd
Tom.
Nation.
Yeah.
Sake Tom?
She remembers Sake
Nerd.io.
Is that
Tom.
like Whiskey Josh?
Yeah.
Backslash
No.
Whiskey
Oh,
Josh, Sake
No,
Tom.
just wait for the comment. Wait, she's like, I know Sake Tom.
Okay.
She knows. Those were some loud times.
Whiskey
Oh,
Josh
no.
Showed up for a Twitch stream one night.
Yeah.
Oopsie.
That sucked. That fucking sucked.
Really?
Well, I was trying to teach you.
You were teaching me Smash Bros.
Do you know how to play?
It's okay. We've all met Wine Josh too on an episode.
Oh,
so
God.
Yeah.
Embarrassing as.
you'll meet Weed Corey one day. Who knows?
Yeah,
But
who knows?
anyway, that's it, y'all.
Yeah. Thank you
Aw.
so much, everybody, for listening. Tell
Bad
us.
boys, bad boys.
What you gonna do? What you gonna do when they come for you? Snickety snack, snickety snack. I don't know.
We're not doing that with the
should
new
learn the-
generation.
Yeah, we should
That's
learn the
it.
words.
That's how you listen from now on.
That's how you listen to Nerd on the Podcast. We appreciate you so much. Let us know if you saw the movie. Let us know what you thought about it. You can reach out to us on our social media, into the DMs, as they say.
Slip and smash.
Yeah.
Oh.
Slide and press onto the.
If that
Nope.
baby's arm's holding
Nope.
an apple,
No.
smash it.
But thank you so much for listening. We appreciate.
Go ahead, take my headphones off there.
We appreciate you. Please do share us with your friends, your family. Do
If you
share
don't like it, share with your enemies.
Or share them with your brujas.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Have a warlock baby with a bruja.
Your brujas, your brojas, whatever.
It's the best line in the movie.
Stop by whatever platform you listen to and rate and review us. I will complete this part. Stop by our website, nerdon.tv. It has all the information on what we do. That's it.
Join.
Well done. I like that.
Now that you
Nope. You know the
Podcast in
drill.
blue.
As always, Nerd On!
Ending broadcast.